guest tonight is an extremely talented actor. He's an Academy Award-winning screenwriter. He's got a new book out called The Billy Bob Tapes. It's tapes, but it's a book. The Billy Bob Tapes, A Cave Full of Ghosts. It's in stores now. Please welcome the great Billy Bob Thornton, everybody. Billy Bob!
How's it going, man? Alrighty then.
You wrote a book, Billy.
I did. I certainly did.
It's got a picture of you on the front smoking one of them marijuana cigarettes right there.
You know, actually, that's just a regular old cigarette.
Is it?
You know, I could never smoke pot.
I was never any good at it either.
Horrible.
No, it made me feel really uncomfortable.
Me too.
Like I felt like my hands were covered in glue and stuff like that. Yeah. I only did it like 50 times now. I thought, that's it. Like, seriously,
I couldn't do it either.
No.
Never
What were your drugs back in the day then?
Oh, gosh, morphine.
Morphine?
Yeah, I loved it.
That's a tip for the lady that's having trouble getting to sleep, actually. CBS.
Exactly. Yeah, morphine's great. No, I was never much, I wasn't good at drugs, and but I mean, even back when I grew up in the heyday of, you know, hippies. I was a hippie and everything. I was like the only hippie who couldn't smoke pot. But I mean, seriously, the times I tried it, I thought the FBI was after me. My heart beat real fast. You know, I couldn't do it.
No, you don't want. That's not fun.
It's not fun at all.
That's what I thought when I was doing acid. I was like, this is not fun. I'm just doing that. This is peer pressure.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I never had fun. So this book, it's wait.
Oh, I know.
Who's this?
That handsome devil? That's me when I was 7.
Look at you, adorable.
Which is the age my daughter is now.
That's And does she look like this?
Well, I mean, you know, kind of a girly version, maybe.
Yeah.
But
there's a girlier version of this.
Oh yeah. Touche.
Yeah, I'm kidding. You look great. I love the show business pose.
Oh yeah,
You're a baby.
Nice. Well, this is one of those. It was probably one of those Olin Mills things, you know, like your parents take you to the Sears or wherever it is, and they put a fall scene behind you, and you can't sit up. They had to prop you up all the time. But I was the fattest baby in Clark County, Arkansas.
Hey, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Never mind Oscars. Come on.
Absolutely.
Fattest baby in Clark County.
Yes, I was.
Them some competition in Clark County for fat baby.
There is, actually.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah, the cholesterol capital of the world.
Is it really?
Well, I don't know, but I bet it is.
You know, I tell you, it's an interesting thing. I think that sometimes when I'm in the South, I sometimes think it's a little bit like Scotland here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people with Scottish names, and everybody's eating pretty bad food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, you and I grew up in similar ways.
Very similar kind of way. I mean, I was the fattest baby in Cumbernauld. Yeah, and there was some stiff competition there. Now, is this an autobiography?
Not really. I mean, you know, over the years, when you're a, you know, actor type or whatever, they always want you to do a biography or whatever, but they want one of those celebrity gossipy biographies, which I wouldn't do. And my friend Kinky Friedman from Texas, you know, oh, Kinky, there you go.
Yeah, there he is.
Kinky said, look, why don't you do a book? Because you got all these crazy, funny stories of growing up and everything. He said, if you do that, and then I'll give you a couple of chapters in there where you can just gripe about how our culture is crumbling before our very eyes. And I said, yeah, I'll do that. And one of the reasons I started talking about how our culture is crumbling is because when you had Bob Geldof on the show, I was watching.
Yeah.
And Bob said, which I loved, he said, people have gone crazy. Why is nobody talking about this? And we're losing all the magic in life and this kind of thing. And I thought, well, finally somebody said that, and I'd been doing it, but I do it like in my basement with like 2 or 3 of my friends. And
that's much what I do here too. In my basement with my horse and my girls and my skeleton. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
But I think that too, and I wrestle with it because on one hand I think we live in an age of no original thought. Everything's a sequel. Everything's a remake. Everything's a cover version. I think, you know, pop culture is crap. Like people aspire to be nothing.
I know.
And then I think, oh, maybe I'm just getting old.
But see, here's the thing. A friend of mine pointed this out to me, and I believe this is true. He said the people who are griping about this, who grew up in the 60s and 70s during the heyday of rock and roll and everything, he said, we're still saying the same thing now we were saying then, so that doesn't make it like your dad who thought the Beatles were the devil. And
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but what should, I mean, because I have young kids, you have young kids. How do you instill rebellion and original thought into people when their parents are trying to be rebellious and original themselves? You know what I mean? It's like, how do you rebel against original thought? Is have unoriginal thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
And so we're all, ooh la la!
Yeah, we are. I guess you're right. Maybe I should just give up. But yeah, I've been talking about it quite a bit. But here's an interesting thing. I liked what you said earlier in the monologue about you know, how everything's a reality show and this kind of thing. And here's what's strange about it. Like, in order to become famous now, you do something stupid,
right,
you know, or say something stupid, and you get your own show.
Right.
Right? I mean, some guy who's like... No, I'm not talking... No, I mean, this is a legitimate...
Where you going with this, man?
No. This is a legitimate thought. I mean, this is a legitimate show and all that kind of thing. We've always had talk shows, back to Jack Parr and Steve Allen and guys. I'm talking about somebody who has a show. I mean, how many more shows do we need about jobs? I mean, it's like, you know, Cabinet Wars or stuff like that.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Well, they got 10 shows about...
World's most interesting, you know, diner. Yeah, why?
It's like they've got 10 shows about making cakes.
Yeah,
how many shows do you need about making cakes?
I don't even like making cake. I don't mind eating a cake, but I'm not a cake maker.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of weird. But one way or the other, you can do this kind of stuff and then get famous from it. So that's the way to do it. But if you're already famous and you say something stupid or do something stupid, then you lose your career.
Yeah.
So what does that mean exactly? I'm not sure exactly how that works.
I think what it is that fame used to be something that had value. Like, you became famous for doing something. You wrote a screenplay, you made a movie, something that people went, oh, wow, that's a piece of work. Now fame is just a byproduct of having your own sex tape. It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, fame is not important anymore. It's kind of like the way I feel about the written word. You know, like the written word used to be really important. Like anything written down, like, you know, 500 years ago, you'd be like, oh, wow, this person can read and write, so this must be important. But now everyone can read and write, and, well, most people. I look forward... No, I don't look forward to it. But, you know, the idea that literacy, you know, being able to read and write is somehow a symbol of intelligence is not true, but people still think that. And to that extent, people write stuff down on the internet or on Twitter or on Facebook. They write it down, what they've said, they see it written down, and they go, I'm clever.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. And also, I think back on the years when when I first came to L.A. 32 years ago, and you know, you're starving to death and living in the car half the time and everything. And now a guy skateboards down a banister into a pile of watermelons, and he's got his own show the next thing you know. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was that easy.
That's a pretty good trick. You know what? Do you know what I thought is like Justin Bieber, who's clearly a talented kid, right? I'm not trying. This is a talented individual, no doubt. But when they made his movie, they were like, they said he'd never make it. And I'm like, he's 18. For 6 whole months he struggled. You know, it's like the idea of serving any kind of apprenticeship doesn't exist anymore. If you're not famous and getting it going on by the time you're 22, you're washed up, which I don't understand because you get nothing to say.
No, I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, life experience is part of what goes into anything. You know?
You'd think. But then again, maybe we're just getting old and telling kids to get off of our lawn. I don't know.
You never know. Yeah. And shaking our fists like
you kids. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a lawn?
Yeah, I do. I actually do have a lawn. I have a small front lawn and a big back lawn.
2 lawns?
2 lawns.
So, do you tend your own lawn? We can make a show about that. Yeah. Lawn tenders.
Exactly. Yeah, celebrity lawn tenders.
Celebrity lawn tenders. I'm telling you, you can sell that.
Absolutely.
If it's Billy Bob Thornton, celebrity lawn tenders, you would do the narration. Over here's a guy who's got a lawn, and they would. I'm telling you, somebody would buy it.
Well, you know what gets me on all these shows? Everything's a competition, and it's like, you know, like I said earlier, like cabinet makers. You know, a show about they make their cabinet or whatever it is. Nothing against cabinet makers; they're great, but if you have a TV show about them and they all make their cabinet, and then they stand them in a line,
and then the judges,
and they all cross their arms like this. And they wait forever to tell the poor slob who's got to be off the show. You know? I mean, it's like they play Jaws music.
Right, that's like, your cabinet made me sad. I looked at your cabinet. It made me sad and crazy because your cabinet, it looks like croissant.
Yeah, they're so arrogant, those
Yeah,
judges.
it's terrible. Like, I am the greatest cabinet maker. You're right, though. We shouldn't be, angry with the cabinet makers. They do a fine job.
They do a wonderful job. They do a wonderful job.
Do you have any cabinets in your house?
I do, actually. I have a lot of cabinets.
How many do you have? Do you have any idea?
You know
probably
what?
don't know. I
Offhand, I'd say in the kitchen area, I'd say I've got 12.
Now, your kitchen cabinets, you keep that for your food and groceries and stuff?
Dishes,
things
like that.
You don't keep anything else in the kitchen, because some people keep the cleaning supplies in the kitchen, and I'm like, whoa, that's the garage.
That's true. That's true. I actually know someone who uses their oven quit working, and they use their oven as an extra cabinet, and like cereal and stuff is in there. Yeah.
Well, that's dangerous, Bill.
It actually
yeah,
is
because
dangerous,
right there, what if that oven starts, suddenly you've got flaming Cheerios in your oven?
Absolutely. If it suddenly starts working again,
yeah,
that's a fire hazard.
That's a fire hazard right there, and you won't know where the smell of toasted wheat thins. We have to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
It's better this way, I think.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Billy Bob Thornton. He wrote this book with Kinky Friedman. Kinky's got a middle name, remember? What was that middle name he had?
I know all about Kinky's middle name, yeah.
It's Kinky Friedman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cuss too much tonight. I don't want to give you any more cuss.
The thing is he can't prove it,
Why not?
Well, I mean, he could prove it, but he won't prove it.
Well, if he won't prove it, then maybe that's proof enough in itself.
You know
right
what I mean?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look good in that picture with you. Do you still smoke?
I do, sir.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I do.
You know what? If cigarettes didn't kill you, I would still smoke, though. Because I haven't had a cigarette in 15 years, but boy, they were terrific.
Well, they are.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not.
But they kill you, you do know that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just had I have 2 physicals a year. Two major.
Oh, yeah, because you're a bit of a hypochondriac, right?
Well, a little bit.
A little bit. I seem to remember.
See, I trade off, though. I mean, see, I'm a vegan for the most part. I eat fish occasionally, but I eat really healthy. And I got to tell you something about oatmeal, just to get off the subject of cigarettes.
Okay, that's fine.
But they always say oatmeal lowers your cholesterol, right?
Right.
And that blueberries bring your blood pressure down. My blood pressure is kind of low to start with, so I have to be careful so I don't, fall out when I stand up, that kind of thing. But I mean, sometimes my blood pressure gets to like 96 over 64 and stuff, and that's low.
That's low, yeah.
It makes you dizzy. But one way or the other, about 6 months ago, I started eating oatmeal and blueberries and bananas every morning. It's the first thing I do.
Right.
Now, last year when I had my physical, my cholesterol was like 172, which is low. That's good cholesterol. Right. And I've never had a problem with this. I got no artery troubles or anything. I'm in pretty good health. My lungs are always clear, this kind of thing. Now, I started doing this oatmeal thing 6 months ago. I went to the doctor the other day, and he starts going through my blood tests. Wow, that's great, that's great, that's great. He goes, your cholesterol's 131, that's great. And I said, hang on a second, you said 131. Last year it was 172. So I lost 41 points on my cholesterol from this oatmeal deal, I'm telling you. So I'm just saying. I mean, if you...
Wait. First of all, do not dare applaud that. Because you're only doing it to make yourself feel more comfortable. And the other thing is, but you're still smoking.
Yeah, but if you eat oatmeal...
If you eat oatmeal, you can... Crikey.
You can smoke.
Wow!
Yeah.
But I look forward to your letter, American Medical Association. No, but you're very careful with, the health and stuff. I seem to remember that. You're kind of like, you've got a touch of the Howie Mandels, haven't you? A little bit of
that, yeah. I'm not like Howie where you have to, like, do the bump thing or whatever. Right. I mean, I'll shake hands with a guy, but I instantly go get the hand cleaner.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm the same here. Well, we get celebrities out here, buddy.
I saw you in Cusack. I saw you in Cusack drink this stuff.
Yeah, well, you see, I found out later, though, that actually some people do drink it, so I feel bad about that.
Yeah. Really?
Well, because maybe it was theirs,
yeah.
No, apparently it's one of these things that, like glue or paint huffing or something. Yeah.
Pam.
Yeah.
People used to huff Pam.
Really? So I kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want some?
I'll have a little.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful, you know, because you know, people come out here and they're, you know, they've been to show business parties, they've been shaking hands with agents. They're filthy.
Yes, they are.
Filthy people.
I completely agree.
All right, we're out of time. Do you fancy mouth organ, awkward pause, or do you want to go for the big cash prize?
Big cash prize.
What time is it, Shadows David?
It's time for the big cash prize.
Now, 50 American dollars in quarters in a bag with a dollar sign on it, right?
Yes.
Just like the burglars use. 2 ways to win. You can either answer a question or you can guess what's in my box. Here's how that works. I imagine a box in my head, but I don't know what's in it. Only Jeff knows what's in the box. If you get it right, Jeff will tell us, and that's great. If you get it wrong, something awful will happen.
I'm going to guess what's in your box.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, I'm imagining a box in my head. Jeff, do you have the box?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I went to dinner with Jeff the other night.
You and Jeff went for dinner? Why
Oh, yeah, it was great.
That was great, yeah.
Why
Well, we see each other, you know, socially occasionally, but just here on the show and stuff. But the other night he calls me up and we went to dinner. It was a nice time, and thank you.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Pick the check
Thanks
up.
again, Billy Bob. That was great, man.
It was. I had fun.
Oh, I had a great day. Continue with your little game, Ferguson.
If you guys have been for dinner, then how do I know this is not a setup? When I come on the show, I'll guess what's in the box. I'm sorry, Billy Bob. No, we have very strict rules. I'm sorry, this sounds like a setup to me. You and your little buddy Jeff going for dinner and... Jerks.
Okay.
All right. So you have to answer a question.
I got to answer a question.
All right. Okay. Iceland is in the North Atlantic. Its capital city is Reykjavik. The hagfish is widely considered the most disgusting of all sea animals because it produces huge quantities of slime to confuse predators. Within 5, how many quarts of slime can a hagfish produce at once? It's a pretty easy question. Within 5, how many quarts of slime can a hagfish produce at once? Is it A, 17?
Are those the choices, or you're just saying?
That's the choices. Is it A, 17?
Oh, A17.
But within 5.
Okay. I'm sorry. 19.
It's close enough!